Welcome back. Let's shift to political economy now. Most of the exit polls predict a clear win for the BJP-led Mahayuti alliance in Maharashtra and in Jharkhand as well. The NDA is expected to win. However, there are two caveats here. One, in Maharashtra, the Dainik Bhaskar poll predicts a win for the Congress-led MVA by a slim majority. And in Jharkhand, the Access My India poll also shows a win for the incumbent India alliance. Now, a second caveat, exit polls have been wrong. They have been wrong in the Lok Sabha polls, wrong in the Haryana polls, and wrong even in the US elections. So, what we are discussing today is a little speculative, a little hypothetical. What impact will a win for the BJP-led groups in Maharashtra and less so in Jharkhand have on central government working? And likewise, what impact will a loss to the BJP-led coalition have on central policy making? Joining me are A.K. Bhattacharya, editorial director, and Aditi Phadnis, political editor at Business Standard. Aditi, Mr. Bhattacharya, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Aditi, let me start with you. Let's go with the assumption the exit polls are right and there is a BJP win, BJP-led coalition win in Maharashtra. Do you see more confident policy making? What's the impact?
So let's look at the issue in a different way, which is that if the BJP is unable to reach the majority point, can an MVA government withdraw some of the schemes that the BJP has offered, BJP Eknath Shinde alliance? The most major one among them is the Ladki Bahini scheme, which is an allowance for women in below a certain income threshold household. About 4 or 5 tranches of this have been paid all at once, and women have received 7,500 rupees in their bank accounts just a few days ago. This is a very powerful motivation for women to come out and vote for the government or the group which they think is going to continue to give them this. The jury is out on whether this kind of this is welfare or it's revenue. There is an argument that giving money straight into the bank accounts of women empowers them. There is only so much free food you can eat. There is only so much free power you can consume. But if you give them money, they might use it as capital to set up some small business. They might, and when you combine that with the free transport scheme, which many states have launched, it just propels them into the labor force.
So what's your point, Aditi? So your point, Aditi, is that it spurs economic activity. What's the political economic takeaway from that?
Well, obviously, it puts pressure on state finances, and somebody has to pay for this.
Yeah, no, I agree. State finances everywhere are under pressure.
In Maharashtra.
I take your point. And in fact, the MVA has come with 3,000 rupees and free bus travel for women under a particular threshold. So either victory for the either groups would mean strain on the state finances. Let me get AKB's first views. AKB, my question is really more central government. And I'll tell you where I'm coming from. There are people who are saying that the central capex took a beating in April, May, June, obviously because there wasn't a government in place. But it also took a beating in July, August, September. Capex didn't come up because bureaucrats don't sign on when they are not very sure that the existing political dispensation will continue for a long time. I mean, they want to be very sure, lest they are questioned. Remember, H.C. Gupta and P.C. Parakh issues. So, capex and government decision-making at the lowest level slows when the majority for the centre is not that strong. It is in that light I'm asking you, what impact can Maharashtra, now let me turn the question, a Maharashtra loss have on centre?
Well, I wanted to differ with you on that assumption that when the government is unsure about its political future, whether at the states or at the center, the capex allocations slow down. I think what has happened in the last 6 months, the capex slowdown is not because of government indecisiveness or political considerations, but more because of a poor absorptive capacity of the system itself. You cannot possibly have a situation where the capex is rising at an average compound annual growth rate of 29% for the last 4 years and continue to pump in the same money to the same sectors year after year. So there is a problem of absorptive capacity. So I don't think the capex slowdown is attributed to government's indecisiveness at the center.
Excellent. I mean, that point is taken. I take your point. Let me repeat the question then in a better way. I was wrong in my initial adverbial clauses. Just plain. A defeat, what does it mean to the central policy?
Well, I think a defeat essentially means a little more strain on the finances of not just of the center, but also of many state governments that are will go into elections in the next next year. You have got two big elections, Delhi and Bihar, and then the year after. So I think the freebie politics will definitely get a further fillip. That's number one. My sense is if the BJP fails to form its government in Maharashtra, the budget that is being prepared right now will be less aggressive in addressing many of the concerns, many of the ailments that the economy suffers from, both on the demand side as well as on the investment side. So I think the government will be less empowered in that sense, or less assured of itself in addressing the concerns. I have also think it will have an impact on the kind of deliberations on the recommendations that the Finance Commission is looking at in terms of allocation of resources, whether vertical or horizontal, in the coming forward, because they are going to come up with their interim recommendations next year. So I think a loss will have an impact, and I don't know whether it will have a political impact in terms of one country, one election, whether the center decides to expedite its plan, or does it want to implement it or hold it on for some time. So there are 3 or 4 such things that I see if the BJP fails to, or the Mahayuti fails to form its government in Maharashtra.
Okay. So Aditi, AKB, both of you are telling me one thing, that state finances are definitely going to feel the pain, especially if the BJP loses, because it will clearly give a fillip to more freebie kind of promises in coming elections. But Aditi, to repeat the question I asked AKB, what can be the impact of a BJP win on the centre? Would it be more decisive? Would it be a little more fiscal rectitude, which they can stand by? Will there be any positive outcome of a BJP win?
Well, politically, there will be certainly a boost of morale, because frankly, whatever they may say on record, internally, morale of the BJP was quite low after the Lok Sabha elections. So certainly there will be a boost of morale, and some of the things that they might have been a little leery of doing in the past, they will be more, they will feel more empowered to do. Haryana was a big boost, and Maharashtra will be an even bigger boost. That said, I think whichever government comes to power in Maharashtra, the very first thing that they have to address is the cost of doing business in Maharashtra. Corruption is very high. I'm not saying this. Several chambers of commerce, several groups of industry, including a report by the KPMG, German Commerce in Association, which has done a survey of 82 companies which have invested in Maharashtra, 82 German companies, are saying that we just don't want to stay on in Maharashtra, and if possible, we'd like to exit, because corruption is very, very pervasive.
Okay. Oh, that's a separate issue. I agree with you, especially at a time when Karnataka is making policies for GCCs and Tamil Nadu is making policies and helping, soliciting investments in, assembly line and for iPhones, etc. This puts Maharashtra in definitely a very bad light. So that's a key takeaway for Mumbai and its hinterland, which benefits from industrial growth. AKB, any final takeaways? I mean, if there is a victory, do you think there is greater discipline? At the moment, we should go with the supposition that there is a victory for the BJP in both
Okay. Yeah.
states.
You know, my sense is that, we have to look at Phoebe politics through a different kind of a lens. You refer to that in a certain way, that it does boost economic activity in an indirect manner. I think the Phoebe politics will continue. It will grow its roots even further. But it will also mean that the states that are stronger, the states that have got crafted better policies to attract more investment, therefore boost growth, will probably in a better position to manage the excesses or the impact of those freebie politics. So therefore, if you don't manage your state well, so the states that are doing better, and if the center has better finances, they will be able to withstand the impact of freebies. But I don't think the freebie politics is going to go away very easily from this country, particularly at a time when economic inequalities and the need for underprivileged sections, some sort of welfare transfer schemes are very much needed. So freebie politics will continue to grow, but the states that are better off financially, they manage their finances better, they attract better, more investments, like Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, probably will in a better position to withstand this assault of freebie politics, which is not going to go away.
Fair point. Thank you very much, AKB and Aditi. We have to stop the conversation here for want of time. But take your key point that the whole culture of freebie politics is going to take its toll on capex plans of states, sheer financial power of states. But the other point that the two of them are making, until now we were talking about a north-south divide with southern states becoming more powerful, richer economically. Now what both of them are pointing out is that within the south there is likely to be a divide, with Maharashtra lagging and the other four southern states probably snatching a sprint ahead of the once most industrialized state of Maharashtra. There will be impact on Finance Commission, as AKB pointed out. There will be impact on the delimitation. There will be impact on caste census. I mean, there are huge issues where this incremental win or loss is going to have an impact. But that discussion for another day after we know the results on Saturday. Thank you very much, Aditi and AKB, for joining us. We have to wrap up on Bazaar on the note that the market is reeling, but from a very, very different pressure. We will continue discussion on the impact of this Adani news as well on stock markets. That's it on Bazaar. Chartbusters coming up after the break.